Welcome back to 3 Delirium. My name is AJ, and today we're going to touch back on what I was working on last week. I had a whole entire video about the pluses and minuses of printing what could be called like a stand-in model for when playing Warhammer 40,000 by Games Workshop. Now, I had actually made a whole segment originally that included the effort it took to take that file that I found on the internet and chop it all up so that I could just kind of separate the body of that model from the backpack and wings so that I could shrink down just the wings and make it fit a little better to the body itself. But actually, that model ended up failing on the printer for various reasons, and I got to spend most of my morning this morning fixing my printer and clearing out the jam that was caused when I tried to do that. But since then, I've actually printed the original model in its full-scale size, and let's take a look and compare the two, see how they've worked. The failed model with what I thought would be better wings, and the original itself. Stay tuned. So when it comes to what it took to cut this all up, I was just merely trying to separate the body from the wings, but the wings are shaped in such a way that it makes it very difficult to make one solid slice through the entire thing. Now, I would much prefer to import this whole file into Tinkercad, and I know I could take a shape, turn that shape into a space so that the model will treat it as take a scoop out of my model in the shape of the shape I'm using. But sadly, this file is too big for Tinkercad's file capacity, so I can't actually import it that way. So I had to chop up the wings into separate pieces, which, to be fair, might have even printed a little better than they would print otherwise. And then I had to kind of separate all the pieces and add them all together, highlight them all at the same time, and then I could shrink just the specific pieces that I wanted. Now, originally I was going to try to do just the wings and leave the backpack the same size that it is, but actually the backpack does look better when it's smaller as well. So I'm trying to leave the model of the lady herself to be full size, and then I'm trying to go around 75% smaller on, I guess it'd be 25% smaller, make the backpack and wings 75% of what they were before. Well, they have both finished printing, bases and all, and here we are side by side. Even from this distance, you can see that it makes up a big difference of how much just sheer space it takes up sitting there on the tabletop. The full-size wings versus the 75% wings. Now, even the 75% aren't quite as big as they would have been if the file hadn't failed while printing, but otherwise, they're pretty different. They both have exactly the same base and exactly the same body, but let's get a closer look, and we'll see that compared to the terrain piece like before. And just like we mentioned last week, I have tried to meet in the halfway with the backpack, try to meet between the actual model and this 3D printed model. But now that I've made it smaller, it does hide behind this piece of terrain a little better than the full-size model did, whereas the actual Games Workshop model would stick up over the top. So if it sticks out over the sides, at least that's still something that sticks out where they otherwise wouldn't. Well, there you have it. It seems that both the pieces, they look alright, but really it will just come down to maybe taking both of them with me next time I go play with my friends, and I can ask them what their opinion is, because maybe they're uncomfortable playing against a 3D printed army in general. So it's also nice to just kind of give them a heads up. I don't want to show up with only this army and say, well, I have to play with this one because this is all I have. So it'd be good to just take these two before making an entire army of these guys to just kind of get communication, and I don't want to make any hard feelings or make anyone feel bad about the game from the start. I'm trying to stick to that gentleman's agreement like I mentioned last time. But that's all we've got for you this week. Tune in next week and we'll see what we've got going on then. I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.